Hello and welcome to another beautiful episode of the Let's Talk About It podcast. For all those that have not yet seen my previous episodes or don't know me, my name is Deborah Kasiba and I am your host. Hopefully, your very favorite host. Listen, I just want to welcome you all once again to my podcast, to the Let's Talk About It podcast. So excited every single day, literally. Like, I'm excited to record an episode. Every time I have to go, I'm like, oh my God, it's Wednesday. Oh my God, it's, Tuesday. It's Monday. I need to record an episode. And I'm so excited every time. It's like, I cannot wait for the words that God is going to deposit inside of me, for that message that God has put inside of me to be delivered to somebody out there. So once again, I'm just excited. I welcome you all to this beautiful journey. Do join me, do spread the word, and let us all be united together and walk on this journey. All right, so today's episodes, the title is going to be It's Okay to Not Be Okay. It's okay to be overwhelmed sometimes. It's okay to cry sometimes in the midnight hour. It's okay to feel like you're broken into small pieces, to small tiny bit pieces sometimes. It's okay to not be okay. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. So, sometimes the reality is we are not okay, to be honest. Most of the times we're really not okay. And we are trying to just be strong. You're trying to just put it all together. You're just trying to get it all together. Be that strong woman, that strong man. Like, I got this, I can do this. Even though deep inside, you're falling apart. Deep inside, you're overwhelmed. Deep inside, you just feel like you can't go on anymore. You feel like, okay, you need a moment. You need 5 minutes. You need a day to just breathe in. You need a day to just admit that, you know what, I am not okay. But most of the times, the society has made it seem like we can't have those moments. We must always be strong. We must always show that we got it all together. We must always post on social media that our lives are going well. That everything is okay. That your marriage is fine, it's perfect, it's the perfect marriage, that your relationship is really it is good, it's really given, always showing that on social media. It is what society has made us believe is okay. But you don't have to always be okay, because we are not always okay. There are times we're okay. There are times, everything is going fine. There are times when everything is going according to plan, Your family is well, your family is at peace, your marriage is well, your relationships are going well, your school is well, your education, everything is just in place. And there are also times when depression kicks in. There are also times when you're really not okay. There are also times when life gets really stressful and you feel like, you know what, I just need a moment. I need a day. Can somebody just give me a day to just sit down, and just depend on God and not on myself? And just sit down and talk to God. I'm like, God, I'm not okay. And I just needed you to know that. David, I love the story of David, honestly. David used to be a man of emotions. He went through a lot of emotions: depression, anxiety, fear, betrayal. He went through it all. And throughout each season, each episode, each emotion that he went through, he was talking to God about it. He was pretty clear with God. He said, you know what? I'm not going to talk to my friends about it. I'm not going to tell social media. I'm not going to tell the world. I'm not going to go on the mountain and scream from the mountaintop that, hey guys, I'm not okay. No, we don't have to scream it out. But in those times when you're not okay, which is okay, go talk to God. Go talk to God. He's there to listen. God, it does not only speak, it listens as well. He said, the relationship I have with you, it is a two-way street. It's a friendship. He's our friend. And what do you do with your friends? You talk to your friend. When things are not going well, you talk to your friend. He's a friend like no other. He's a friend that whom you can lean on. He said, lean on me. I will be your friend. I will listen to you. I will carry you on. But you got to lean on me. And it takes you admitting that you are not okay to be able to lean on God. As long as you're always trying to be so strong, as long as you always try to have it all together, as long as you always try to keep it all together, you're not really going to leave room for God to come and put those pieces together. So it's okay that you're not okay. So back to David. David was just a different creature. He went to God every single time. And this season or this year, my church youth, the youth of my church and I, we're doing a Bible study sessions where we talk about, we focus on a book, a chapter every month. Like every month, it's a different chapter. The month of January, it was the book of John, for example. But this past 2 months, we've been focusing on the book of Psalms, and we're discovering the emotions that David went through. We're discovering all the emotions that he went through and how to manage those emotions. All right, so David kept going to talk to God. He didn't complain to people. He didn't complain to anybody. But every time he went through betrayal, he went to God and said, God, my friend, my father, my healer, the one that, mends my heart, the one that has my back, the one that will never betray me, I'm here. Listen, God, I'm really going through something. I've been betrayed. I've been stabbed in the back. The people I thought were my friends really stabbed me in the back. The people I thought was family to me really betrayed me so hard, God. And I don't know how to handle this emotion. I don't know how to manage this emotion. But God, I just need you to know that I'm not okay. I just need you to know that I'm struggling with trust right now. I'm struggling with trusting anybody around me right now. So help me, will you? Help me, because I don't know how to manage this. I'm not okay, and I don't know on how to deal with it. He literally portrayed that emotion to God. He said, I'm not okay. He admitted. David was a man of acknowledgement. He acknowledged that, God, I'm not okay. And this is the time where I need you to help me out. I need you to be the God that you are. I need you to be the God of the brokenhearted, because my heart is shattered. I need you to be the God that puts things back together, because I'm broken into small pieces. I'm broken and I don't know how to put myself back together again. I'm trying to pretend like I'm okay. I'm trying to pretend in front of people, but I just can't do it anymore. And the reality is, I'm not okay. I'm just not okay. So David literally spoke to God so many times. When he was going through depression, this one really hit me hard, because he was going through depression and he told God, I feel like darkness is my closest friend. He said, I feel like the walls are creeping in. I feel like my back is against the wall, and the only thing I have closest to me is darkness. God, I'm not okay. So all of this, I brought up this story of David because it's to make us understand that when you are not okay, you need to understand that it's okay. And it is in times like that you can speak to God about it. He said, I am here to listen to you. I will speak when it's time, and I will listen when it's time to listen. So sister, brother, whatever you're going through, life can get hard. I know. I really know. I understand. But throughout it all, don't keep it in. Stop putting it all in, because there's a day when you're going to explode, when it's going to all come out. It's going to be a really, really bad season, a really bad moment for you. So I'm just encouraging you to let it out, that pain. Speak to God about it. Understand that it's okay that you're going through. It's okay that you're feeling pain. It's okay that it hurts. It's okay that, yes, they broke your heart and you're going through this season of pain. It's okay that you feel that way. It's really okay, and nobody should judge you for that. Nobody should judge you for having a mental breakdown. Nobody should judge you for having a moment where you just cannot breathe, a moment where you just need to be alone, a moment where you just need a moment from the world, a moment where you just feel like you want to run away from everything. It's okay to feel like that because it happens. Life happens. Life really happens. So, sister, hey, bro, it's okay. It's really just okay. Honestly, and it's something that we need to normalize. The society has made it so abnormal when you see somebody have a mental breakdown, or when you see somebody just falling apart. Hey, it's just social media everywhere. You just been recorded, you're just all over the internet. It's not all about the internet. You see a friend, a sister really in tears, in pain, going through something. You don't have to record them and post them on social media. You don't have to make it public to the world. They just need a helping hand. They just need somebody to tell them, you're going to be okay. You got this. You're going to get through it. Literally, that's all that we need sometimes. But society has made it all seem like it is not okay when we're not okay. That we have to be strong all the time. You have to be that mighty warrior all the time. But behind that mighty warrior, there's just a little child. There's a little girl crying. There's a little boy that's just in need of somebody to tell them, hey, you got this. So can we just please normalize being there for one another? Can we normalize being there for each other? Telling each other it's okay to not be okay. And just reminding each other that God has your back. That there is somebody out there, there's somebody greater than this world that has your back. There's somebody bigger than this world that is going to carry you and mend you back together when you fall. Sometimes we think that God cannot come down low. When we're in our lowest moments, we think that God is not going to stoop that low to come to me. It's not going to leave his throne and just come and pick up this broken person. But well, sorry to disappoint you, but God, at least the God that I know, is the God of the broken hearts. The God that I know is the God that loves broken toys. It loves to mend things back together. So when you're shattered, when you're broken into pieces, it's okay, because that's the right time when God is going to come and do his godly thing, which is mend you back together. Put the pieces, the broken pieces back together. That's the God that I know. So I don't know what God you've been knowing, but the God that I know is the God that mends things back together. So when you're broken, when you are wounded, it is the God that heals. It is the God that will come to you. It will come rushing like the wind to pick you up from where you are fallen, from where you are broken, from where you are wounded. It's going to come and just pick you up and mend you back together. That's the God that I know. And there's a verse that I was reading, right? I was reading this verse and it just, as always, I don't know, for some reason, the word of God just really gets me. It just really gets me. I'll be reading a verse. I'm just like, God, what are you trying to say? God just speaks to me in so many ways. Every time I read a verse, it just speaks to me in another dimension. It just speaks to me in another way. I'm just like, I see what you're doing, God. I see what you're doing. So I was reading a verse. It's in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12. And it says, and it said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Deep, right? It says, therefore, most gladly, I will rather boast about my weaknesses, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. It said, my grace is sufficient for you. And that grace is sufficient in times when you're weak, in times when you don't got it all together, in times when you're broken, in times when you're wounded, in times when you're going through depression and anxiety, in times when you're just falling apart into small pieces. That grace is going to be sufficient. In times when you feel like the world is not really giving, it's not giving anymore. It's not really giving. You feel like you're always giving to the world. It's always taken from you. The world is just taken. It's taken from you always and never giving anything to you. God said, my grace is sufficient for you. And then it says that I will be glad. You know what? I'll be more than happy to boast about my weaknesses. I'll be more than happy to tell the whole world that I'm not okay, because it is then when the power of Christ will rest upon me. It is when the strength of God will be made perfect in my weaknesses. When I admit that God, I'm not okay. When I admit that God, all is not well right now. It is when you come and say, you know what, my child, it is well because I'm here now. It is well because my grace is sufficient for you. It is well. So sisters, brothers, if you need to talk about it, let's talk about it. If you need to talk about that depression hitting your heart, call a friend, call a sister, talk about it. Don't keep it all in and feel like, I need to be strong. I need to make sure I'm doing everything right. I gotta keep up the high standard for the people. Sometimes we literally feel like we're burdening other people. But let me tell you, you can never burden God. People can make you feel like it's a burden for them, but sis, bro, there is a friend. There is a friend in Jesus. There is a friend and his name is Jesus. And he said Deborah, he said Sarah, he said Esther, he said John, whatever your name is. I am your friend, a friend like no other. I am a friend that will give you rest. I am a friend that will not only be a friend, but I'm a friend with purpose, literally a friend that will benefit us. Because when God comes, it takes away the pain. It's not a friend like the worldly friends that we have. When he comes, he actually brings a solution. When he comes, he actually puts something on the table. When he comes, he actually gives us something to rely on, something that we can hold on to, something. He actually brings back that joy. It brings back that peace. So there is a friend in Jesus. Literally, that's all you need. That's literally all that we need. So it will be my pleasure when I'm not okay. It will be my pleasure to go to my father and be like, Daddy, I am not okay. And be like, Daddy, listen, I'm going through 1, 2, 3, and I'm just really falling apart right now. What you got for me? Your daughter is here. What you have in store for me? You know the plans that you have for me. And God, I just feel like, I don't know what I can do. I'm going through betrayal. I'm going through problems. I'm going through pain. I'm going through broken hearts here. God, are you there? Talk to God. Like, can we normalize talking to God? Can we just make it like a normal thing, a go-to thing, talking to God? Talking to our Father, talking to our Daddy, Father in heaven, like my friend, the one that has my back. The one that, even if the wicked people are speaking against me, like I will be able to dodge. There's a saying that goes on that the blessings of the Lord is upon me. I can't even dodge. Like when I go to the left, it follows me. When I go to the right, it follows me. So can we normalize talking to that God that pours all these blessings, that pours all this peace upon us? Can we normalize that? We don't only talk to God when everything is okay. He's the God of your mountain. Like Minister Deborah's song, it says the God of your mountain and also the God of your valley. What is that valley? It is that brokenness. It is those wounds that have not yet healed. It's those scars that keep tormenting you. It is those pain. It's that pain that's deep inside your heart. Those valleys, that valley is the God of your valley. So don't only wait for the celebration for you to go talk to God, or for the celebration for you to invite God to thank Him. No, talk to Him in your valley. Talk to Him in your brokenness. Then His grace will be sufficient for you. So talk to God. Like for real, we need to normalize that, guys. We need to normalize the generation. This generation, let's normalize talking to God. Like period. Sis, There'll be times when you will cry in the midnight hour. Brother, there will be times when your back will be against the wall. Those times will come, those times happen. And don't let anybody make you feel like you're wrong for being that way. Sister, don't let anybody make you feel like it is wrong for you to cry, for you to let it all out, for you to feel like running away. Like recently, I was really going through an overwhelming situation. So much was going on, like literally so much was going on. I had school, I had work, church, life, family. There was so much going on, and I was overwhelmed. I was literally overwhelmed, and I was trying to keep it all together. I was just like, Deborah, you got so much to do right now. You cannot break down now. You cannot not be okay now. You have so much to do. So many people are relying on you. You got homework to do, for crying out loud. You got work to deal with. You got ministry going on. You got family going on. So you cannot break down now. You cannot not be okay right now. Put yourself together. You just have to ignore it. Ignore that you feel overwhelmed. Ignore that you feel in pain. Ignore that you're feeling a little depressed right now. Ignore that. Just ignore it, because you got so much to do. You can't break down now. And I was literally telling myself, it's not okay for you not to be okay right now. And I remember that day clearly. It's like my dad is always coming to my rescue. For some reason, I feel like the Holy Spirit speaks to him on my behalf sometimes. And my dad just came to me and he's like, you know what, I'm going to the mountain today. Do you want to go with me? And I'm just like, no, I got so much to do. But at the same time, I'm just so stressed out. And I have to do my homework. I have to write this paper. And I have to do something for work. And I have to do something for ministry. I got so much to do. And going to the mountain right now is just really not it. He said, well, I'm going to pray. I think it's nice if you join me. Just go out, just join me. And I was just like, you know what? Okay, I'll just come along. Maybe I do need that fresh air a little bit, even 5 minutes, even for 10 minutes. So I went along with him. We went to the mountain. And as always, as usual, he always does this. He begins minding his own business and is just praying, is doing his thing. And I just sit there. I'm like, what now? In my mind, I'm like, girl, you got a paper to do. Girl, you got a homework going on that is due very soon. You got so much to do. And being at the mountain right now is just wasting time. And I started praying. I'm like, you know what? Let me just join him in this season, in this moment of prayer. And we started praying. He was praying. And the funny thing is, as we were climbing up the mountain at first, I was literally looking, overwhelmed. When you're not at peace, it shows on your face. I was looking overwhelmed. I was looking sad. I was looking like I had problems. I was looking as if like, hey sis, you need God right now. And we started praying. I was just praying and I was praying. And I started pouring out my heart to God. I'm like, you know what? God, I'm not okay. And I was just in tears. I was crying. I'm like, God, I'm just really not okay right now. So much is going on. So much is really going on, and I just don't know what to do. I feel like I have to put up this strong attitude. I have to put up this strong appearance, pretend like everything is okay. I have to act like I'm okay all the time because I don't want to burden the people around me. I don't want to make the people around me worry about me, and I just poured out my heart to God. And out of the blue, there was this sense of peace in my heart. There was this sense of joy deep in my heart. I just felt restored. I felt strength. Like by the time we were done praying, I was joyful. I was glad I went to the mountain. I was like, you know what? The best decision I made this week was coming up this mountain today. So sister, brother, when you're going through it, it's okay. That it hurts, it's okay. That it's paining you, it's okay. That it's overwhelming you, it's okay. That it's depressing you, it's okay. That it's stressing you out, and it's okay that you need a moment. You just need a moment away from everything and just breathe and talk to God. So my only advice I wanted to give to somebody that's listening to this podcast is, when you're going through that, go talk to God. It's going to give you that sense of peace again. It's going to give you that feeling of joy again. It's going to give you that feeling that everything is okay again. So number one, it's okay when you're not okay. And number two, when you're not okay, go talk to God. Because that is when His strength will be made perfect. It is in your weakness. So go talk to God. That's the only message that I had for today. That's all I wanted to talk about today is, when you're not okay, it's okay. And go talk to God. Go talk to Him. He is a friend and He has your back. Remember that. Always remember that. People cannot have your back sometimes, but God has your back and He always will. He will never fail you. He is too faithful. He is too good to disappoint you. He is too faithful to let you down. Jesus is. So just lean on Him because He's there. He's a shoulder to cry on too. Okay? So it's okay that you're not okay. And I know, I really know. And I understand as well. We're in this together. So when you need a shoulder to lean on, Jesus is right there. Because sometimes people, your family may not be there. Your friends may not be there. Life happens. They're busy too. They have life going on too. They have situation going on too. And we cannot blame them for that. We cannot blame them for trying to put life together, trying to make it through this world as well. We cannot blame them for not being available for us. But the one person that's always going to be there in these situations is God. It is Jesus. So go lean on Him. Go talk to Him. Go pour out your heart to Him. Tell Him how you feel. Tell Him that you are overwhelmed. Tell Him that you are upset, that something really made you upset. Tell Him and pour out your heart. And then He's going to give you that peace again. It's going to take away whatever is troubling you. He said, my daughter, my son, do not be troubled. For I am your God. Do not be troubled. Trust in me. Trust in the Father and also trust in me. So, sis, brother, it's okay. Yes, it's okay. We can do this. We're good. We're going to make it. Literally. All right. So I think that is all for today's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I pray that this podcast blesses you in many ways. My prayer is for this podcast to help you in a way, one way or another, to be a blessing for you one way or another. So I really hope you are blessed by this episode. I hope that this message, this episode, really spoke to somebody out there. I hope it was a reminder or an assurance or just an awakening call for somebody out there, or just an encouragement for somebody out there. I really pray for that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop here now. If you are blessed by this episode, share it to a friend, share it to a sister, because the same way you needed to hear this, they need to hear it too. You don't know what they're going through, and maybe they really, really need to hear this. So share it to a friend, share it to a sister. Let's keep the word going. May God bless you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next episode. Be blessed.